Well, good evening. I'm your host, Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom, Hypno Acuity, and Cowboy Wisdom podcasts. Tonight, we're presenting 7 ways why I rose out of the illusions of business and education. And something I awakened to just today is why has education, computers, and business made people robotic? It has me because I'm always looking outside myself thinking somebody else is going to take care of me. And how do we think business is going to raise the world? And actually, business has lowered the world and uh, actually lowered the quality of life of people. That's something I really understand. And everybody's telling, oh, get educated, go get a business. Business is only successful through people. People is the equation to all the success of any business, and computers have taught us to let go of the innovation of ourselves. As much as I'm on the computer and I love the computers, but the computers have some very uh, controlling ways because there is zero wisdom in computers or AI or any of that. And so the thing is we're letting go of our own intuition, imagination, because we think the outside world knows. And I got a class coming up on Thursday called I Rose Out of Programming. And see, what do you do to a computer? You program it. And you program that computer to whatever you want it to do. Because I can load a computer, well, I can't, but somebody can, uh, that will take you to wherever you want to go. But, the thing about it is, it's what other people want you to know. That's the thing about all this fancy stuff we have today. It goes out into who knows where, but who's writing the stuff for it? And that's something I really opened up to. So I awakened to understand. I awakened to understand. I I was robotic, and I woke up to body robotic and easily controlled by socialized ways of life. But what I learned in school, I used what I learned in school to teach myself to be a robot, to stay inside the social lines and be in the good graces of other people. How have we tried to be a people pleaser and didn't even realize the only life we're really ruining is ourselves, or the one we're diminishing is our own life? That's something I understand. And these people, if you look at the world, the corporations, they don't give a crap about people because they're a business. And really, if you want to know the truth, every business, every corporation, all the computers, but the business and corporations, all they are is a name on a piece of paper in a file cabinet. And when you start listening to the world, you become a robot trained by that file cabinet. And that's where the world is today. And that's where I was until I woke up to understand, whoa, maybe I ought to start questioning something here. Then I started questioning, and then I started listening, and then I started rising out. But I realized who was really the manipulators of the world, and they really didn't care about anything but their own way of life. And so I realized that I when I wanted to stay inside the social lines to keep me inside the unrealized boundaries of my ancestor survival mode haunting habits, unadmitted third world enslaving mindsets that have been elusively and secretively embedded in me and all people, as the world has tied the lies of greed as a way of life. See, money is never bad. It's the greed and the appetite of people, that the greedy appetite of people is what made money bad. Money's innocent. People are guilty. And once they get a hold of that greed and think they're better than you and everything's about them, that's when you get into the blemishes of greedy seediness of the world today. And everybody thinks if I had money, I'd have it made. The difference between the super wealthy is they understand money and the energy of money. And that's something where everybody has to open up to, is the energy of money. And I opened up to that to myself. And see, the world runs on the lies of greed. Money, money, money. But it's greed, greed, greed. Money's innocent. And business thinks, and we have this world where we think, oh, if we make business profitable, the world will be good. How's it doing? So you got to look at the outside world, listen to the rhetoric, and see whether the rhetoric is matching your life. You know, the thing about it is you can listen to these people and really rise. But, you know, the thing about most of it is all they talk about is their business. And then they talk about having a lifestyle. But if you watch them, they're spending all their time working. Sure, they may have a nice yacht someplace, but their appetite of money never lets them relax. Their appetite of greedy, seedy grubbiness never lets them relax. See, it's never money; it's the appetite of greed they can never fill. And so when they start making money and they talk about money and they sell money, we start focusing on money and the greed. And pick me, I done it. I've done it for a long time. I'm just now awakening to understand that ain't such a good thing. That's kind of like being a pole vaulter into a pool of alligators. That wouldn't be fun, pole vaulting into a pool of alligators, would it? That's kind of what thinking that business and education and computers are going to rise the world out of the current situation. None of them talk about relaxation and having fun. And that is something I'm really opening up to, relaxation and having fun. This is fun for me, speaking here and showing people a better way of life. But, you know, as long as I have uh, me and the wisdom, I'll be okay. And, you know, we're focused on greed rather than the quality of life, relaxation, leisure, and having fun, because I now understand I made decisions in greed. And that's where you run to the next one. Oh, that one's got one more hour of overtime. Let's run over there. It's the same job, same type of job. You know, I quit many jobs and run to the next one because this one's greener. Somebody said this was a good job. They're all the same. A job is a job until you open up to understand it's how you view the job and communicate within yourself about the job. It's about how we communicate within ourselves is how life is. And that'll be something coming up. But now I craft choices through abundance, understanding my free flowing inspiration that images my money streams, that flow to me in an effortless way as I unleash my unique intuition, wisdom, insight, clarity to rise people out of their current lifestyle. It's about rising people. And see, if you look at the world, it's all about rising the top. That's why life is like a tree. You see the tree with all the leaves, and you see the stem, but the people that make the greenery of the company, the trees, that's the roots. We have let go of our roots. And we think, oh, that guy's got money in a corporation. Corporation is just siphons money from the taxpayers. And the biggest lie in the world is capitalism. All capitalism is corporate socialism, because they never do anything without the taxpayers' money. They think that taxpayers' coffers is their bank account. And with campaign contributions, it is the taxpayers. It makes it their bank account. See, people, your bank account is really your wisdom, insight, clarity, intuition, imagination. It's your free flowing energy and all your talents. That's your bank accounts. They can repossess a car, they can repossess your house, but they can never take away your wisdom, insight, clarity to move your life forward. And that's something I really opened up to, I understand now is you watch somebody that's made a lot of money and they get too greedy or they get enough money to really start playing, and the playing's way more fun than working and keeping an eye on their whatever's going on. Well, the universe has got a way of extracting that money from unsavory people or people. So anyway, they lose their money, but within 2 years they're back on their feet because they understand how to make money. And with a little bit of challenge, they become better people. See, chaos, challenges, and unsavory things in your life, that creates character, but it also opens your heart to be a better people. And you got to understand the people you had your nose turned up to and looked down upon, them are the people that are helping you rise. It's called humility and humble pie. One thing about humble pie, it always tastes like shit. I've ate a lot of humble pie, and it always tastes like shit. I could say crap, but it's just better. You cut the crap, you untie the lies to fly. And the lies of today is business and education will show us a better way. Is it good? Yes, it's a foundation. But has education education teaches negativity and pessimism. It's fun watching people, broadcasters and broadcasters and podcasters. If it's outside of the norm, all they speak about is the negativity in life and the pessimism and all the other things. When you rise out of that to inspiration, let go of thinking business, education, and computers are your way forward, and open up to listen to this intuition and then filter that in with stuff. That way you rise. And see, people are writing books with AI. You can write a book with AI, but that book is meaningless because it's not from you. See, that's the thing. All the computers and free trade and all this, it's stolen the ingenuity and the wealth of the world. See, through a lot of this stuff, we've lost the wealth. And the wealth of the world is the people. I don't care how good somebody is in business, how good their business plan is. People make a business successful because it's their cash flow. And one thing people don't never understand, wages is a corporation investing in their profits, but Wall Street steps in and they see Wall Street. Wall Street is a great thing, but it's also a thief of the prosperity of a country. Because you can have it out here in a fictitious way, but it's never down here with the people. That's why everything is done for Wall Street and the corporations. But how are we doing? How is the world really doing? That is something I ask myself. And see, the thing is opening up to the energy of money. But something I always did, and this is the one that bit me hard. Get rich quick. Because somebody told me one time, you're going to grow internally before you grow financially. I said, oh, that ain't going to happen. There's humble pie again. I got to eat the shit sandwich. And they give me moldy bread. That was what really sucked. But it was the best thing that happened to me. You're going to grow in here and not up here. It's in here. See, everybody's trying to change your life, change your thinking. It comes here. It comes through the free-flowing channel of charm and charisma. That's what this is, a free-flowing channel of charm and charisma to raise me out of today. And the thing is I've been at this and I was doing this, but I look at the world and it stayed the same. So I said, okay, the mundane goes out with the plane that crashes over into the sewer of never do to open up my eyes of my liberating inventors' insight, clarity, and innovative wisdom, inventors' insight, and liberating lingo to awaken, my my forthright frequencies of sleek, unique talents and free-flowing, energized, document abilities, agilities, and audacity to rise out of the illusions of business and education. That is secondhand information of what other people want you to know and how they want to control your thinking. Thinking, knowing, I'm going to do this too, but thinking and knowing is robotic rhetoric of what the outside world wants you to do and be and live inside. And that's kind of where it is. And all the information and education curriculums come from the ambiguous oppressors with a third world enslaving viewpoints, opinions, beliefs, and mindsets that want total control of people's wealth and the way they live their life. If you look at the world, it does that. The only way the world is going to rise is when people open up to their free flowing inspirations and image the dreams as their way of life. And when I say dream, I don't mean something, I'm talking about the desired lifestyle, what you want to do. And see, there are so many things out there, you see it every day. But for you to open up, but see, we have been so taught, especially me coming out of a small town in South Dakota in the 60s and 70s, because this stuff is all, this is kind of like the hoop-de-doo. But the more I opened up to it, the better it is. But something I see is we're too cityfied, not enough countryfied. We're afraid of our own talents. But we're also afraid to go into the world to listen to the world. We can put a man on the moon. We can do all this stuff. But you look at the world, there's still people living in poverty and everything. And I know that's their responsibility. But however, how does the up here want to give them money, but never their wisdom? To rise the people out, you got to let them see they encompass the wisdom and talents to do it. And something else I know, when people get up here, they think the world owes them and they got there by themselves. Successful people never got there by themselves. They got there from people buying their products and doing this. See, it doesn't take a village to raise the people. It takes a pioneering spirit to raise the people. See, you look at these people and they think if they're helping somebody out, which is good, but they still have that little air of arrogance about them. The arrogance of college education has stifled this country. And when it comes into the third world enslaving business mindset of business people, they look down on the people. But here's the thing. The people they look down on, like the blue collars, the hourly workers, they can live through a hurricane without anybody. All the higher ups are waiting for them electrical linemen to get there to do it. See, the thing is, it's never what you think it is. When you understand the flow of the world, it's a flow of frequencies and foresight that lights the light of life. And, I watch all this marketing stuff. I giggle at it, and, I said, because you think and know your way to yesterday. And I said, the biggest challenge business people have is everything they think and know. And I thought that one lady I told that to, I was going to have to go a couple towns over, because people don't realize we've been programmed to be followers. We've all had an enslaving program taught to us. And if you think you're better than somebody, you're headed for a challenge. Because, I've watched a lot of people screw people over. And then when something gets unsavory and something goes away and it goes awry, the first person's hand you reach is that person you screwed over. Then it gets really humble. So what I'm really saying here, business and education has this country going this way. People with wisdom, insight, and clarity that want to show people a better way have the world going this way. See, the world ain't rising. There's people rising, but the people that everybody looks down upon, they're the ones that making the world turn. The blue collar hourly worker makes the world turn. Because if it wasn't for the powerhouses, the gas stations, the refineries, the nurses in the hospital, and things like that, this world would go down. See, it's never what we think it is. And it's never the people that we really, really think, because corporations, that's just a name on a sheet of paper. And all I know is they always want a tax break out of the taxpayer's pocket. If the corporations had to pay back the money they borrowed, we wouldn't have a national debt. See, it's easy to do. You just take their money, and it's like when all the motor companies flew into Washington, D.C., and they're all their private jets. They got the bailout, and then they headed overseas. See, I'm sorry. People fought to get this country a way of life. Business and corporations tore it down for greed. You campaign contributions buy anything. But see, people, we got to wake up and understand you are the talent of your life. And what happens out here it just doesn't mean jack crap. What happens in here, not up here, in here. You get the energy of here moving forward. You get a flowing foresight with the frequencies of easy feats of financial enterprising audacity. Today you rise. See, we're waiting for somebody to rise this world out of where it's at, but it'll never occur because of the because it's of the ambiguous oppressors that control the world. They're about money, and they don't care what kind of lifestyle anybody has. And that's the thing. It isn't about the money you have. It's about the wisdom and insight, clarity, and the inventor's audacity to show yourself a way to the promised land. You are the best. You are the most talented thing in your life. But we've always taught ourselves not to be in that. Pick me. But this is about realizing that business and education is illusion and it's an illusion of you thinking you're smarter than somebody else and better. Because we realized as a union electrician, and we'd have engineers and stuff come out, they had no clue of what they drew. Now on the circuitry they were really good, but on the physically install of everything, they were lost. And is it your education? Your education is a foundation. What are you willing to listen to expand? That's with all of us. We're going to listen our way to the promised land, think no, and our way to think no and talk our way to the outhouse. But we're going to listen, question, and our way to the penthouse. And see, and thinking and knowing has you to follow all your socialized, trained brain from your parents' institutionalized education and community ways, business, and everything is from yesterday. Today is the imagination, intuition, and innovation of you will rise you to your liminal carpet glide to enjoy your life. And I am Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypno Acuity. And I want to thank you for being here. And this is the Cowboy Wisdom Podcast. And Cowboy Hypno Acuity rises you out of the overthinking of therapy. And anyway, may your day be as blessed as you are a blessing to me in the world. And good night.